Season 2 with the Urban Cowgirl. I've got a real special guest with me today you're going to love. You're going to want to hear more and more about him in more ways than one. With me today I have...
Merle Haggard. I was raised as the only child by my mother, and I am just one of the sons of Merle Haggard. They seem to be popping up everywhere now, but...
Okay, well, you're going way ahead now. You're one of the sons of Merle Haggard. Who's Merle Haggard for anyone that, just dropped in from Planet Zor and wouldn't know?
Merle Haggard is, he's a very great storyteller in his songs. He always has a story behind what he writes. He writes number one. He used to write number one hits back in the '60s and early '70s and even into the '80s. He's had like 40 number one hits, and not many people know this, but he's had 99 number two hits.
All of that's amazing. What genre of music?
It's outlaw country or Bakersfield sound, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, now let me stop you there for a minute, because those are terms that people that are not real familiar with country music, they wouldn't understand the difference. So can you explain that a little bit to us?
Okay, back in the '60s, the electric guitar was really big, and they learned different ways of playing the electric guitar in country music. And that's kind of what the Bakersfield sound is. It's the twang and the string bending and such as that. String
bending, that's an interesting term I'd like you to explain. Prior to that, was all country music acoustic?
Well, mostly. Country music sprang out of bluegrass, and they had the big stand-up basses and they kind of incorporated that in with the electric sound of the Telecaster, and it was phenomenal.
So now, what was the bending of the string? What is that?
Well, most guys when they play now will hit it and then bend the string on the guitar neck. And what they were doing was they were bending the guitar string way up and then hitting it and bending it back down. And nobody was doing that. So that's
very interesting. Your dad was very popular with his music, but I want to know, who is Scott? Are you a musician as well?
I've always had a guitar my whole life, since I was probably 5 years old. I started out playing gospel as a kid, and I learned every note, every chord there is to know in the book. So at the age of probably 6, so...
Wow, 6 years old? Yeah. How old were you when you picked up your first guitar and said, I'm going to do this?
Well, I never really... I picked up my first guitar when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I learned all that stuff, the gospel stuff, and I kind of, as I grew up, I kind of got to studying other things like girls and sports and...
all that other fun stuff in between the music.
Right, and so... After high school, I had to make a living, and I didn't think I could do it making music. But so I was a welder for about 10 years, and then I drove a truck for 14 years.
This is so interesting. And when you hear Scott's music, you're going to say, how did you ever think not to do that? Because his voice is phenomenal. His music is it's beyond good. You will agree when you hear it, and you will have a chance to hear some of that.
From the great state of Alabama, the legendary Merle Haggard's son. Give it up for Scott Haggard. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Do and do the best I can. should know. It's a hard world, living in the shadow of Merle. Play, boys. And some just don't understand what I'm trying to do, just to impress my dad. 'Cause the harder I try, the harder it seems to be. It's a hard world, living in the shadow of Merle. My story, this way you've heard it from me. It's a hard world, living in the shadow of Merle. Oh yes, a hard world, living in the shadow of Merle. Thank y'all so much.
So all that time that you were doing these other jobs, what were you doing with your music?
Well, as the 14 years I drove a truck, I usually went out to California from Alabama, and I had plenty of time to sit in the truck and sing along with my dad, and you know, in the dash there. But yeah, I started to sing back in 2007, and in 2008 I won the Horizon Award at the CMA in Mobile, Alabama, and it kind of went from there.
That's really interesting. Can you explain that award to us a little bit?
Well, it was a music hall for older people, and they had some really top-notch musicians. You can't find steel players like that no more, you know, and or any musicians like that, hardly. But they'd let me come down and sing ever so often, and I enjoyed it. There wasn't no money in it, but I'd go down and sing. And a year after I started singing, they gave me that award. So.
Wow. You know, there was something very key in what Scott said. At that point, there wasn't any money in it, but he loved it. That's what you call passion. Yeah. If you're doing what you love, money is that's not the issue, though you need to earn a living and people want to be paid for what they do. But when you love something so much that it's a passion, you're thankful for the opportunity to share that talent, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so now in 2008, you're playing. Where is your career going now?
I'm working on my second album right now with a fellow by the name of Teddy Grimstad, and he's in Finland, and we're doing everything online. I kind of have my own studio at my home, and we send files back and forth over the computer. And he's got Phil Anderson out of Nashville playing the guitar parts for me, and it's going to be a real good album, I think. Everybody's been asking me about it. So
this is a second album.
Yes.
I want to go back, but let me address something here for a minute. Now, with today's technology, this is a real possibility. Obviously, how you can produce an album. Somebody's in Finland, yeah. Somebody's in Alabama, somebody's in Nashville, from different locations globally, putting together an album. You'll never know that they weren't all in the studio together when that's done because of today's technology, right? Okay, so I understand the demand for music because I've heard you perform. You said this is your second album, but what about your first album?
My first album was released 2012. It was done here. It was done in Nashville, not here. It was done in Nashville by Gene Breeden. He's a real famous producer. He actually done some of my dad's stuff. And we toured. I was living in Michigan at the time. It was summertime, beautiful up there. We toured the Midwest, and I sold my album on my tour. So
Nice.
I sold them all. So I guess I've done it.
And when you hear his music, you're going to understand why. So when can we expect album number 2?
Should be maybe October, in October.
Okay, that's coming up. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So now you're performing. You perform all over. Do you perform with other musicians?
Oh yes. I played with all different kind of bands. Like I said, I stayed up in Michigan. That was a really good band I had up there. It was called the Lonesome Fugitive Band, actually, and that's one of my dad's songs. So.
Okay.
So.
To see the importance in that, I love that title, Lonesome Fugitive.
That was really, really good. The guitar player name was John Kopcha, and I've never seen a guitar player besides Randy Mason that could top him. Wow. He was really, really good, and the whole band was good. But we toured the Midwest, and I loved it. I just loved doing it.
I can tell. That's your heart. That's your passion. That's just totally awesome. Now, we're here down in North Carolina at this venue. What is your reason for being here?
Just to come and have a good time. As you see the beautiful river behind us here. We was going to do a river float, but it was a little bit chilly. Yeah, we're going to put on a concert here tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, Saturday.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're in concert tomorrow. You're here with band members and all kinds of campers and other activities going on, whether it's lawn games or river activities, which we're hoping for the sun to come out to see more of. But you're going to be in concert tomorrow.
Yes, okay. Tomorrow.
So tell me a little bit about that.
We're just going to have a good time, enjoy ourselves, and let everybody else enjoy themselves. And if the weather holds out.
Well, who are you playing with tomorrow?
The North American Misfits. It's a real good group of guys. We're from all over the United States, so and even Canada. We've got people from all over.
And keep your retirement and your so-called social security. Fixing it, turn me loose, set me free.
It's just, and again, and this is, we're not talking technology here, putting music together, but this group of musicians come literally from around the United States and Canada, and you perform quite a bit as a group together, and trust me, they're phenomenal. You'll find out when you hear what's coming soon. So tomorrow's concert I'm looking really forward to, and I know that you are.
Some folks call me a rambling man. I do a lot of thumbing and a kicking cans, and I wouldn't do an ounce of good. Call me names, don't say his name, but really was true. When I was born and raised, no kid or just white boy looking for a place to do my name. Out to find me a wealthy woman, a line of work that don't take no fun. Ain't got a lot to lose, got a lot to gain. Well, sometimes booming around a little, like guitar, I like fiddle. That's the kind of soul it takes, play my flame. I don't want no handout living, don't want anybody in anything they're giving. I'm proud, white, and I got a song to sing. I said a few things, and I've admitted it. More than you got a thing to get it. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Yo, hump and get it. I guitar, I like a fiddle. That's the kind of soul it takes, man, my flame. I'm a blue-eyed fiddle, kind of bearded Betty. Gotta work, be somebody, just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Well, I don't want no handout living, don't want to party anything they're giving. I'm proud, white, and I got a song to sing. Said a few things, and I admit it. If you want to get hit, you gotta hold me. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. Just a white boy looking for a place to do my thing. What about that, y'all?
We know a little bit more about you now musically. Tell us something about you personally. Who are you? Who is Scott, besides the musician?
I'm just a South Alabama country boy that was raised on a farm. Love to play music and just enjoy spending time with my wife and my kids and my grandkids. So,
Nice. So you have children and grandchildren. How many?
let's see, now I have 7 grandchildren and I have 3 children.
3 kids, 7 grandchildren. That's awesome. You have a really full life.
Yes.
You know, the Bible talks about when happy is the man whose quiver is full. And so you have a full quiver there with those grandchildren. That's totally awesome. There is nothing like when the babies start coming, whether it's your own or the grandkids, it's just, that is what it's all about. I mean, it's just a wonderful experience. So you've lived all your life in Alabama?
Yes, ma'am. I was born in Alabama, about 20 miles from where I live. I live so far out in the country they have to pump sunlight into us. But
You know, I love that. I love continuing to live in the community where you were born and raised. There's something real special about that. I have that too. I'm from New York, and even though that's why I'm the urban cowgirl, because obviously I have always dreamed about being a cowgirl and living in the city. What could I be but an urban cowgirl? Do I know how to ride? Yes, I do. Walmart's got the fastest horses you'll ever meet. But the truth is, I do know how to ride. But anyway, so you were born in Alabama, you were raised in Alabama, now you have your family that you've raised in Alabama. And tell me about hobbies. Music I know probably takes up just as much time that you could possibly have. Do you have any other hobbies?
Oh, yeah, I love to deer hunt in the wintertime. Yeah, I love to deer hunt and outdoor activities. Love to go to the beach. We don't live too far from the beach, so we love to go down there for the weekend or something ever so often. So,
Wow. Now, where do you have to go far for deer hunting?
No, we own about 300 acres out there, and so it's just deer everywhere, rattlesnakes everywhere.
So you're hunting on your own property,
Yeah.
300 acres. Do you hear that? As a New Yorker, if you have 1 acre, you're like, oh, I got a lot of land. 300, that's my dream, to live on a river. That's why I'm so thrilled to be here. That is the number one thing on my list, is to live on a river, and I do want property. Nothing less than 50 acres, 100 acres will do. 300 acres, you have deer. I can't imagine what that's like. Do you see deer like running around by your house?
Oh yeah, I've had them. I have security cameras around my house. I've had them actually come through my front yard.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Do you name them?
No. It's a doe and a buck.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, so you like hunting. Do you eat the meat?
Okay. I do everything. We don't take it to a processing plant or nothing. We cut up our own meat, wrap it up, and put it in the freezer, make sausage.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, what do you do with the rest of the animal?
Well, we have there on the farm, we have several dogs that take care of the scraps. So.
Okay, all right. Well, I would imagine on that type of property, that size, you must have farm animals. Like you have certain kind of dogs that are bred for that kind of life, right? What do you have? What animals?
We got black labs. We got my mother has a Doberman, and she just lives right down the road on the same property from me. And we're the only two people on that dirt road, and it's like a 10-mile long dirt road.
Oh, man, that sounds like heaven to me. Do you ever have a problem, being as it's a dirt road so long? Like, do you get torrential rains or snow or anything like that you have to worry about?
We don't get too much snow, just maybe every 3 or 4 years. But now, mud riding, that's the place to go. If you want to go mud riding.
You do that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
We got four-wheelers and razors, and we all go ride.
Okay, now, for all of you Northerners, because that's fairly new to me, too, you're going to have to explain mud riding.
Mud riding. You wait till big rain comes, and the roads are all slick with clay, that Alabama red clay, so... you just get in your four-wheeler and go hit the biggest mud hole you can find and try to sling mud all over everybody.
You know, and as weird as it sounds to people like me, we don't do that where I come from in the North. When I found out about it and saw it, it just sounds and looks like the greatest amount of fun. This is what to me, this is all natural fun. We've got too many people that sit behind their phone or whatever other technological gadget and, play games, and they forget to get outdoors and do things. This is just an awesome thing to do, and all age levels are get involved, right?
Exactly. All the kids get involved, and some of the grandchildren are too young yet, but they like to get involved. My grandson Luke is his name, and he's just starting school, so he loves to go with Grandpa and
he's
Dad.
Kindergarten?
Yeah, kindergarten. So he's a mess too, boy.
And he loves mudding with his grandpa. How cool is that? So when you get the truck all full of mud, it's the truck you use, right? A truck?
Four-wheelers.
So you're really covered with mud.
Yeah, you get covered in mud, so you better not go out in your Sunday clothes.
And that, now, when you go home, is your wife having a fit, but you're dragging all the mud in?
No, she's on the back. She's on the back.
How cool is that? I can't take it. I love it. I think I'll put that on my bucket list. I got to try that one time because it just looks like such great fun. Okay, so that's some really cool things you do, and I like the fact that it's family-oriented stuff that you're doing. That's totally cool. Okay, so now let me ask you, what are your hopes and dreams with your music career? Where do you want to see yourself, say, 5 years from now?
I'd like to see myself playing in a casino out in Vegas or in Nashville, Palace, or, places like that. I like to do theaters. I will say that. I like to do theater-type shows. Yeah, well, I like to do these outside venues as well, but sometimes you can't depend on the weather.
Yeah.
But in a theater type setting, it's more everybody's concentrated on you and the band, and to me that's the ultimate high,
I totally understand that, and And I really believe in my heart that's coming for you, because not only is the passion, but your dedication and your talent. When you mix dedication, passion, and talent together, that's a formula that just wins. You can't lose with that kind of formula. In this industry, the music industry, just like any other part of entertainment, you have to stay dedicated, because it may take time, but if you stay dedicated during that process, you're working on your talent. Your talent just grows and grows and grows. And when you like with Scott, you already have that talent, so it just gets better and better. So what you're hoping for, I believe in my heart, is going to happen, because you've got everything that it takes to make that happen. We're going to have a great weekend here, and I can't wait for the concert tomorrow. I want to thank you for taking the time out. I know that, you're here with family, and you've taken time out for this interview with me.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't wait for you all to hear this music, and you will, like I promised. But I want to say thank you for tuning in. I am thrilled to bring this amazing talent to you. For the Urban Cowgirl, which is me, Violetta Licari, saying till next time, God bless you.
Tell me what is going on. I woke up this morning and she was gone. Look out the window and see the damage done. Lady and invited, ruin the time. That golden flight around. Though it was howling and the rain was coming down. Come hell or high water, she's my losing queen. I gotta get back to my baby, back to New Orleans. Mississippi to Clarksville, Tennessee, to the waves and watches people falls to fear. Never thought I'd see the day